How you doing, guys? It's LSP. I'm going to do a really quick rundown on the Swissborg token, CHSB. I love video format. It's just so much easier to communicate what I want to say and go through some analysis and stuff. And obviously, I hope you guys are finding this stuff informative. Me personally, I love videos. This is what I've been up. I'll make videos for people all the time. And answer their questions and stuff. I like to do it in video format because it's such an awesome medium, to teach through. But I'm going to keep this video short because I just want to kind of do a quick test, But I'm going to throw it up on YouTube and I'm just going to unlist the video and I'm going to share the link in the chat and then let you guys, obviously watch it, and then we'll take it from there. So, just a quick background into this move here, before we drop down to the daily chart. But we basically started from nothing and then we just exploded to the upside. This is something that's common with most cryptocurrencies. If we go over to Bitcoin, we're seeing these parabolic moves. You go to Ether, parabolic move. You go to Ren, parabolic move. We're going to see that pretty much on most cryptocurrencies, except for Pax, because obviously that follows the gold price. But because we have these insane parabolic moves, it's very difficult, especially if we go over to the monthly chart, to look at this and say, well, there's no technical analysis involved here. There's no fundamental analysis involved here. It's just you're looking at price was here and then it just exploded to here, And for me, when I look at a chart like this, it's like, well, we're gonna pull back, yeah. That's the most logical assumption that you can make when you're looking at a vertical move like this. So obviously we drop down to the lower time frames. Now there is some information on the weekly chart that we can look at and we can say, okay, there's some things that we can ascertain from this right before we drop down to the daily chart. And I'll just say now, the main charts that I focus on are the weekly, daily, and 4-hour. Yeah, the hourly chart for me is just a confirmation of something I've seen on a higher time frame. So if there's something that I'm liking on a higher time frame, I want the hourly to confirm that because I'm a intraday trader. Yeah. I'm a scalper, I'm an intraday trader. I rarely hold on to trades, in my normal everyday trading for more than a day. You know what I mean? So for me, the hourly chart's extremely important, but everything comes from these high time frame charts, weekly, daily, and 4-hour, right? They're my staple time frames. They're the ones that I love the most. But we can ascertain a lot of things from this weekly chart. You see that we had the first initial pop here, and then obviously price started to go up and down, up and down. But you'll notice that it stayed within a range, right? So we have this range here, this consolidation. It consolidates, 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 and then boom, off it goes, right? And then boom, it goes again. And then we have the next area where price is starting to slow down. I know it looks crazy because it's going up and down, but it's not a continuation. This is a pause, yeah, before the next leg up, right? And then obviously up here we have these highs that were created, right, when price got to 160-ish, and then it kind of retested it, a second time and then a third time. But these pauses they're extremely important because without these pauses, price is either without these pauses, price cannot continue to just keep going up vertically. Yeah, it's going to capitulate. It's going to get to the point where there's nothing left for it to accumulate, to buy. There's nothing. So it will just tank, it will just drop, and that's a liquidity thing. So these pauses, like I said, are extremely important. They give us an indication that price is slowing down, but what's interesting about these two pauses is that it paused within a range. You didn't get pause and then a drop and then a continuation to the downside, or when it gets to here, we didn't get this really nice pullback to come back into this range that it created on the way up. It paused in a range and it stayed there, which is a very good indication of strength. Yeah, and then you get that second, second leg here, and it pops and it goes up to these highs. And now we're getting the same thing again with much larger ranges, but we're still pausing within this area right up here. So if I just drop down to the daily chart and just kind of get a feel for where we're at. So these are the pauses. We don't really need these, to be honest. Let's just get rid of these. So I'll just delete that one. And I'll delete that one. So we've got the highs up here, and obviously this is the area that I made a note of when I was chatting in the room. On Discord, but as it stands, for me, what I'll do, I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to clear the chart completely, okay, and I'll just do it like this. We don't really need that much information in terms of going all the way back. This is enough for us to work with. This huge pop here, I'm just going to ignore that for now. What I'm interested in is this area here. So I made a note of this area here, if you remember when I posted that first initial chart, and I was saying when we came down here, you see price almost got to it, but there's liquidity here. So just imagine there's a massive amount of orders here, okay, and price wants to come down and grab some of those orders. Yeah, easiest way to say it. So we have price comes down here, and then it starts to run back up to the upside to challenge this previous high, but it didn't quite dip into that. Yeah, so as we come down a second time here, you get that first initial dip, then it comes in a second time, and then it's coming a third time. Now this, for me, this is it. Price needs to go from here. Yeah, if price stabilizes in this area, it's very likely that we will clear out this low and this low. Yeah, which we don't really want to see. We don't want, we don't really want to see price coming back towards that $1 mark or the $1 handle. So we really need to see price go and at least clear this high here, which I'll drop down to the 4 hour and I'll show you in a second. But what's interesting about these moves here, if you look at this candle right here, this is very interesting. Price came down, it dipped into this area here, and then it started to run to the upside. But that second move down, you'll notice, and I'm trying to move the crosshair, that this wick takes out this low here and it goes deeper into this area of liquidity. So just imagine that from here to here, there's a bunch of orders, okay? Price comes in to about, say, 20-30% of those orders, grabs them, starts to run back up. Then it comes down again, okay, and it runs deeper into this area of liquidity and picks up more orders to the tune of around about sort of 60 to 70%. So we can say there's a little bit of liquidity left here. So if price does come down, it's clearing this low straight away and it's going straight for this bottom, yeah, just to clear out all of this liquidity. I don't want to see that. Not just because I'm invested in Swissborg or because I'm long or anything like that. I don't want to see it anyway because it just means everything's going to take a lot longer. Yeah. So let's drop down to the 4 hour and zoom out a little bit. So you can see, as I mentioned, I'm not going to go into the details why I was talking about some of the things I said, but what's important is that price came down. It's responded really nicely here, and we've got a really nice move up. We really need to see this high taken. Now I want to see this high taken, and I want to see price above here, right? So if we can get back, back above 135 and stay there, okay, then that's brilliant. That's perfect for us, because even if price starts to consolidate and go over, that's fine. It just means that it's going to be stabilizing up in this area while it's accumulating, and then you get that really nice pop to challenge these highs. If we start to challenge these highs again, we're going straight through them, in my opinion, and I'm going on record in saying that because I genuinely believe now, with the way that the order flow is, the way that price is, the accumulation and distribution of the way that price is moving on the Swissborg token, I'm seeing that these highs are just going to be cleared out completely, and we'll probably see 180 to the between $1.80 and the $2 handle. But I think we'll get a price response at 180 first. Yeah. So want to see these highs taken, want to see price stabilize in this area. Don't really want to see price stopping here now, which is what I was saying earlier in the chat. So we'll see what happens. Hourly, don't really need to drop down to the hourly, but it solidifies what I'm saying. And just as a quick side note, I'll throw this in here now, but there is an area up here of liquidity that if we do start to run, I would imagine, and this is more of just a little something that I'm going to throw in there because I love this stuff so much. If price starts to run, yeah, just watch this area and see what price does if it gets here. Yeah, so we'll say it like that. So if price starts to run and it starts to run quite aggressively, I am thinking, based on what we're seeing with the analysis and the way that the orders, or the way that the liquidity and order flows are, I'd say if it starts to run, we're going to get that pop, yeah, and it's going to reach really quickly into this area, okay? But either way, I want to see this taken, and I want to see price back above at least 140. But the first place is 135. Let's get price back above 135, and then I can rest easy, knowing that price is 97% going to continue to the upside, like soon. Whereas if it doesn't do that, then I think it's just going to get dragged out a little bit, and we'll just have to wait a little bit longer. But I do believe it's going minimum $2. Yeah. So that's my analysis, guys. I hope you guys like it, and that you're learning something from it. And I really appreciate the feedback, obviously, and I'm loving the chat. I think everybody that communicates in the chat, it's a really nice dynamic, and I think it's extremely important that we all continue to throw out ideas, you know. And so far, I mean, I've been in plenty of chat rooms, and sometimes you're just like, oh man, really, and then you just leave. But the Discord, that we're all in is brilliant, because everybody's got the same goal. We're all here as a community, so brilliant, absolutely brilliant. All right, guys, so I'm gonna leave it at that. I will post it. Hopefully, this works, and I will catch up with you guys in the chat. Speak to you soon.